I'm not going to build suspense and take all day to tell you why I think it's important for Arc Raiders to do well. The reason I think it's very important for this game to succeed is because it gives them the opportunity to expand their scope and add even cooler ideas to their upcoming games. This is a very specific reasoning, I know, but I think it's safe to say that Embark thinks more outside of the box than most studios do when it comes to like presentation and just the vibe in general for their games, or at least a game with the finals. Uh, for people who've never played the finals, I always tell them it's like if they added Battlefield Destruction, at least old Battlefield games, and Apex's creativeness in terms of like arena map design, and then just crank that shit to 1,000 with the crazy fast-paced game modes they have. To me, it took the best parts and the most fun elements of very popular FPS games and just sort of did it better while also feeling like nothing that we've played before. The game was not perfect though, let me make that clear. And I feel like a lot of what was missing came down to like budget, since this is a new studio being founded in like 2018 sometime. However, now they are majority owned by Nexon, which is that company that just has fuck you money. They're like Tencent in a way. And they're obviously confident about Embark's ability to make successful live service games. So I'm not gonna lie, I feel like if Arc Raiders is very successful or even exceeds expectations, that we could see Embark given the freedom to make other very innovative shooters, but most importantly, it would give them the ability to take greater risk in other projects in the future, whether that be massive updates for Arc Raiders or something else entirely. To be fair though, a lot of the goodwill that Arc Raiders has received so far is in part from what we see coming from Bungie with Marathon. It's no secret that Marathon is a long ways off from being ready. A lot of people who have played the game say that it's very lacking in what it offers from a like gameplay perspective. And please don't come at me with the it's an alpha nonsense. How many times have we seen games change in some tangible way from the like alpha or beta up until its release? Like, it rarely happens, let's be honest. The game you play in these playtests gives you a fairly accurate feeling for how the game is going to play. And as of right now, Arc Raiders simply shits on like Marathon in almost every aspect. And for two live service extraction shooters releasing in the same year and likely around the same price point, I don't think for either game they've revealed the price point. But let's be honest, it's probably $40 or $50. But anyways, one looks pretty underwhelming and the other looks like at least has like potential to become something really great. And oftentimes that first impression the game gives you is the most important when it comes to like games that have a price tag. Because for instance, free to play games, it doesn't matter what the first impression is like because it's free and you can try it out anyways. Could Arc Raiders come out and basically be like the beta but repackaged for full release? Yes, it absolutely could. I don't put anything past studios nowadays, even if I fuck with the studio. But that's highly unlikely since these devs are vets in the industry. And I feel like a lot of the hiccups they faced or that they might have faced with this game were already experienced with the finals. And it's just about learning from those mistakes. What held the finals back, at least in my opinion, remember this is my opinion now, was like the content and the updates frequency. It wasn't as good as it needed to be for a live service game. Obviously, to keep people around playing longer and longer, you need a constant content pipeline, and I just don't think it was there for the majority, I guess, of the first half of what was it, 2024. I made a whole video on this when I wasn't as good at articulating my points, but I'll leave it in the description if you want to check it out anyways. All of this is to say, I think Arc Raiders is set up quite well actually to be like to surprise gamers who typically don't play extraction shooters and really do something different than its competitors in this like a saturated genre for, I don't know, the last 5 or 6 years. And it feels like the next 5 years will be nothing but extraction shooters. But hopefully, this is what I hope comes from Arc Raiders, is that they do enough to stick out like they did with the finals. That it doesn't make it just another generic Apex clone or Warzone clone. It actually can stand on its own 2 feet. But hey, let me know what y'all think about Arc Raiders. And if you think it stands a chance at succeeding against giants like Tarkov, or even, because Marathon, it doesn't look as good, at least to me, and to a lot of other people out there as well, like I said. But it has that name recognition from who it's coming from, Bungie, and people love Destiny, so that already is going to draw a lot of players to at least try it initially and buy into it at the beginning. So it has some, stiff competition at first. But I'm very interested to see, especially from people who don't usually play extraction shooters. Because to be clear, I don't play extraction shooters. I find them to be a time sink and a waste of time, frankly. you get all this loot and you spend this time, like 20, 30 minutes in a map and just trying to play sneaky, and someone's a little more sneaky than you, and they take you out and then you lose everything. And to me, it just feels like a waste of time. But I don't know, something about Arc Raiders just looks like there's a lot more there to it than just the bare bones of, I would say, most extraction shooters. That might be Cope, but I hope it's not. And I know there's a lot of players like me who might not be experienced with extraction shooters, but they're kind of cautiously optimistic and keeping an eye on this one.